Hi everybody, welcome back to Nekawashi, Japan. Today we're going to finish off building the Engawa external veranda on our old Kominka house in Shimane Prefecture, Japan. If you're new to the channel, we bought this house in 2023 as an akiya, or an empty house through the akiya bank system. Jason's going to continue on with the Engawa repair in this peaceful rainy weather. And at the end of the video, we're going to go into town and check out one of the live music venues, so stick around for that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and thanks for watching.
If anyone hasn't seen one of these before, it's just a marker. It's a handy little gadget. If you have a look, it's got metric measurements in 10 mils, but on the other side it's imperial. What it does is it's got a little sharp edge. So for example, I need to mark in 35 mil from this edge. So I just come down, I don't have my glasses on, 35 mil, tighten that up there. So as you can see, I've got my mark, then I just run that across there like that. What it does is it leaves a little burrow in the timber that can easily be sanded out later rather than putting pencil mark and all that, but it's just up to your preference. So that's the final result. They're all coming together.
It's such beautiful wood. Is this cedar, did you say? Wow, it smells amazing. Look at that. The grain is beautiful, isn't it?
That was where I made my bit of a boo-boo, but it's underneath, so we'll let it see.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Adds character. So this is the termite repellent that we're using.
Okay, just to give you a bit of an update of where I'm at, I've joined that together, I've joined that together, and now I've joined that together. I've put the stone in, and the only issue is that due to this old existing foundation, at the moment it's just too hard to try and chip it all away to get the stone across later. So at the moment it's just getting it level, getting the foundation stone level and plumb, which I've done, and that allows me to get the leg in, and then later on I can just use one of these to support it while I pull the stone out, and then eventually get rid of that later on down the track. The other issue is I've got this drain pipe here, or drainage ditch, and I need to do something about that and clean it out, and make it be able to water to be able to flow a lot better. Looks like when they concreted that foundation stone in, they've concreted this in, and I need to drop another post there, but the way it is, I can't get the foundation stone in because the post sort of sits half on the stone and then half on top of that concrete. So I'll have to smash all that away and then dig out to get my foundation stone in, and then I can put another post to support under this join. So just a few little things that I did is when I picked this up on YouTube, remembering I'm not a U-Butte carpenter, so what I did is I drilled out an 18mm hole and put it at a depth of about 30mm, and then I drove two big timber screws, 200mm long timber screws in there, and then I plugged them with some dowel, some 18mm dowel, and glued them in. So once that's sanded back and cleaned up, it shouldn't be too bad. Again, not being a Japanese carpenter, it's sort of this one very similar to this one. That's still a bit rough, but as you can see, drill the hole using one of these auger bits, drive your big timber screws in, and then plug the top so you don't see any of the screw. And then eventually you can sand that back. What you could even do is once you sand them back, fill them with a bit of wood filler, then sand it back and then coat it with some stain or something like that. Dark stain. The darker the stain you use, the better it'll be. I don't know whether I'll go to that extent, because as you can see, some of these old beams, you'd never match it. The other issue I'm encountering is getting things level. So when like with this section here, I've spliced in, I can get that level, but this one here sits too high along this axis, and then if I drop that axis down to get it level, this one will dip even lower. So you've sort of got to, I don't know, what's the word, you compromise. So I'm just going to, because I got the boards will be running this way and sitting in there, I've decided to keep this axis plumb and have this side a little bit high. You know, unless you're sort of kneeling down looking at it, your guests or visitors or friends would never pick it up. But again, due to my scaffolding background, as your boards are going to sit in here, my advice would be keep this one plumb if you ever encounter the same issue, and just have this one a bit high.
How you going? Oh, you are too quick for me. Oh wow, honey, you're amazing. What a legend. Gosh, it looks so nice. Oh,
Might be a little bit tight, but there.
Look at that. すごいすごいすごい. Are they all very specific, are they?
No. I just cut the same side on all of them, so whatever the straight side is.
Okay. So yeah, when we do the big renovation, if they say this corner has to come down, that's going to be a no.
Shattered.
To be shattered. No, this corner must stay.
Not too bad, but just space them out evenly so they run.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Great.
Like that.
Oh, it doesn't have to be.
It does.
Perfect, does it?
It does.
Oh, rustic.
So what I've been doing here is I've already fixed down 4 of the boards, but basically what I'm doing is countersinking the hole, screwing it down, and then what I'm going to do is, because they're 6mm diameter holes, I'll then put some 6mm dowel in there to cut them up and then glue them in, slice it off, and what that do will be similar to what I've done here. It'll mask the hole and then it can be sanded back and fixed up later. You can just see what I've started to do as an example, which I'll do for the rest. I countersunk the 6mm hole, as I said, and then I just cut off some offcuts of 6mm dowel. I've just glued them in. Once the glue dries, I can then just get a small saw or even a small chisel and just slowly cut them off level with the board, and then yeah, give them a sand back and all done. All right, at least it's safe and at least people can walk on it now without falling through. And then the next project is replacing that column there. That'll be probably in another video. As you can see, all termite rotted out there, so what I'll do is I'll get a jack and I'll put another probably 100mm by 100mm beam up there. I've got one over there, and then I'll just run it parallel and then jack it up and remove that one. So what I did was I put all those dowels in and then I let the glue set, and then what I did was once the glue dried, I was able to then cut the dowel off and sand it back. So as you can see the, you know, what's left, but it actually brings up a nice pattern. So this stage 1 complete. Call it a day. It's, weather's here, a bit rainy, a bit wet. So
Food's up, baby. This is one of our neighbours who also owns the TV resort Mito ATV park just up in the hills behind our house. I've got a great video coming up of our adventures riding around on his buggies in his ATV resort, so I will be releasing that really soon. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.